Your meta deck is useless. Unmasterable, because the perfect gimmick deck is here to stay, bitches, and you will love it. Maybe sometimes when it actually can win. I will talk about a really good thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! That I love. Watching meta decks dying. On this video, most importantly, we shall look into born decks or the latest one Unmasterable and trying to explain how even a Snake Eye's full power is useless. Sometimes, and only sometimes Unmasterable, maybe. Perhaps, maybe. I'm not saying your amazing Ultimate Snake Eyes deck is garbage, nor crying how strong it is, because we definitely see better decks on Unmasterable. We already have a Menace tier 0 that was Ichizo Terraments, and with that being said, any other deck doesn't sound that bad. What I'm trying to say is that for every good deck over there, you will probably see something else less powerful or really useless, like a Serpentage or a weird Floodgate who could potentially destroy even the most stronger deck. But you already know that. It's not a surprise for anyone that counter cards exist, yet alone counter decks. Now, it's not like the deck I'm trying to talk about right now is the best counter deck in the world. Maybe. I don't care. What I do know is how we got records of the most stronger deck crying so much, looking some traps activate before he can do something about it, and losing to the duel, which is really funny if you ask me. Chain burn chain, or useless traps go, or just burn decks, whatever you wanna call them, it doesn't matter. The deck is not new, it's been around since the first summon of Yu-Gi-Oh! On the first useless boon cards, which is really funny to see that you can play boon on god formats. So the deck is really common, right? I mean, well, not that much, but here's the question, how does it work? How do you play boon decks? I mean, I don't think it needs an explanation, to be honest. You only set 5 cards and pass. That's it, that's how you play the deck. There's no other explanation, that's how you play burn decks. Okay, some burn decks are actually more complex than the others, but to be honest, this version of Chamber is actually really easy. You only set 5 cards, 4 cards, hope that you don't draw max it twice or 3 times, it depends on your deck, and that's it, you win, checks out. But why is this deck so special? The real thing comes right now when the meta is all about such a board presence that cards like Secret Blast can make up to 3k damage, or even more if you're facing certain other decks. That's the problem meta decks are facing right now. Cash, Tears, Branded, Labyrinth, etc, because it doesn't matter if they have negates or, well, anything else. They can just get a Kaiju, Lava Golem, then die to 2 Second Blast because they control 8 cards, or even more. I mean, you can totally clean the background, but it's not that simple. 2 reasons. First, that's their only weakness, so it's not an issue. Second, that only works going second on the best case scenario and you will win, of course, yeah. But worst case scenario is after the second turn, and then you draw Harpy and you will like, oh my god, I can activate this and win, but then you realize that he has the wall set up over there, so he can just activate 5 trap cards and dealing you 10k damage and you die. You see, the Benach meta deck doesn't even use Harpy, not a single board breaker, so unless you have a Zeus, 4 materials on first turn, there's no way you can win. And even if you manage somehow to do that and stay alive, don't forget about Mahama or Lava Golem. So what do? Like the activation of 3 on Lockbeard, you do nothing, because you can. Of course, back in the day it was a weak card, but today you can just negate Lockbeard. You know what else you cannot negate? Chamber. Not only that, it can also be played around. Don't believe me? Tears, Sorcerer, Mekanko, even other decks can play around Lockbeard, but they cannot play around Chamber. I mentioned Lockbeard because it's supposed to be a card that stops the meta, but as I already showed you, sometimes it doesn't do it. And well, that's because the meta is really hardcore right now. It is really bad. At this point, the only decks that can use Lockbeard are just other meta decks, because they will never break. And honestly, that's right, don't put Lockbeard on your deck if you wanna punish the meta. Just play Born Chain. Trust me, I know how good it is to see a Snake Eyes end in turn, but you don't want more breaks. Trust, just play Chamber. Let's name a few examples besides Snake Eyes and why they just lose easily against Born Chain. Understanding why it's just really hard to fight these goddamn other truckers. Starting with Cash, even if they go first full combo, It will end up to Castilla monsters, Fenrir, Unicorn, then Shangri-La, Arise Guard, and if they have lucky, a field spell with a couple of traps and spells. That's already 6 to 7 cards, easily 2k damage with a single Sacred Blast. Even if they banish a card, 4 traps will be a really good hit, and if they hit a Lava Golem, that's even better. There's no way they can recover without getting damaged the next turn. Even the most minimal rescue board can get a big guy and 5 cards, and then without the other engines that you can use, Snake Eyes as well as Defensor, it's a lot of damage that you can take only for saying a board. It's just a really bad matchup if you ask me. There's no way they can win. The Berach branded board with Bestials ends with a bunch of spells, traps and a few fusion monsters, and usually they will summon more the next turn, going to almost 9 to 8 cards, same problem as Snake Eyes, and most importantly, those Snake Eyes just affects monsters. They might destroy 1 card, but that's not enough. Now, Infernal is a raw deck, but they can put really good boards. I know a guy that can cook really well with that, and that's why they just lost as well, because the fact that they can put a lot of cards into the field is just means it will be destroyed by Chainborn. That's the reality, it happens. Because, well, having more than 4 cards is really a problem, to be honest. With this being said, meta and raw decks as well have the same problem. If you wanna win, nowadays you just have to spam a bunch of cards, and that's the point of the deck. This is why it works. Of course, this deck will totally get destroyed against other weird raw decks, but the same can be said about meta decks. I don't think Boring Chain will lose against a Necrovalley archetype, but Snake Eyes will, and maybe Tears. Another example could be Anti-Meta or Stone. While the meta will die easily against those type of decks, Chainborn can sweep those guys with powerful traps, unless if they just trap Lava Golems, but that's only my problem, you know, like, because by all means, you know, you can totally break with Chainborn, okay, just don't forget that. You can just draw, I don't know, 3 maxes, and then you're dead, but, you know, break is a break, it doesn't matter. Because even if Snake Eyes has, like, a really big win rate, it doesn't matter, it just means you have more consistency, because if you drop, let's say, 2 Sacred Blasts, 1 Bubu Trap, and even just 1 max set, that's more than enough to win. Even a big hand is not that bad. Worst case scenario, you will do 7,000 damage, 6,000 damage, you have enough for the next turn, more if you use Lava Golem. So even if you have Hechizo Elements full power, I believe you are dead, bozo. Jokes aside, I'm talking like Boring Chain is a deck that will win 100%. But that's not true, there's some scenarios that you will die, but that's okay. This deck has potential to go to Master 1. Don't believe me? Well, screw yourself, you can just check right now, Master 2 meta, and it's there. Meta 1. You can do it. Why don't believe me? Why would you not believe me? The fact that out of nowhere Chainborn is able to sweep like a meta deck and not being played by the community is just crazy. I mean, I don't wanna bother the 8 people that actually played the meta deck, but the reality is that nobody played this deck. I mean, yeah, people do play this deck, like maybe 7 people, 10 people, but it's still nothing compared to Snake Eyes or any other single deck. See, I need to tell you a story. I was trying to get to Master, and then one of my best friends in the world, my best friend, was also trying to get to Master as always, and he was using Chainborn. Now, that's not a problem, I was trying to use Kashtira, which was the worst mistake in the world, because that deck sucks ass. At this point, Kashtira is less than a raw deck, which is really sad, but the point is, he reached Master 4 in less than 1 hour and a half, which is really crazy. But the thing is that a weird deck coming out of nowhere to beat meta, it is. Wow. So, make me think about something else. What if we had something like this on the TCG, maybe OCG, maybe back in the day, that was able to see about the meta, you know? Something like Cyber Dragons. You see, Cyber Dragons have this amazing content fusion that requires a Cyber Dragon and also any machine monster. You can imagine that back in the day when machine and monsters were a thing, this deck was there to destroy them. Let's say all meta decks ends the board with also a machine monster. With that being said, you can see how this deck could be very powerful. And plus Mega Fleck, this deck going second will be amazing. If you got a meta machine monster in the future, I'm pretty sure this deck will be there to counter it, or at least I will try it. Not my info, a silly spider told me that certain players used to place Inferno against Spiral. You know, that spiral, that tier zeros deck that it was so amazing that makes people cry on Reddit all day, even today. Because it's funny, it's on Master Duel right now, full power, you can face spirals, and you will win. You will probably win more if you're using a normal deck like today, like Cash perhaps, or even Branded, or just any normal deck like Runic. You will win. It is a joke today. But Inferno, it was a better joke, to be honest. He only wins like, I think, one tournament, and a few tournaments maybe, on 2015 maybe. And of course, they did something good about the spirals, but after that it was useless. But again, no more info. Into your hand, we got Evil Swan Evil Swan Evil Evil that thing, okay? Apparently it wasn't a top deck. Of course it wasn't. It was such a funny deck. But some people remember that, and of course we remember that. That's one thing we don't. We don't read cards, we only remember cards, alright? But anyways, it was canon. And it is canon today that some YouTubers remember this deck as the anti-dragon ruler. And it's fantastic. The fact that this deck was known by being a pure raw deck, kind of anti-meta, and that also that didn't do well, it was able to perform really well against the best deck in the world. You know, like other solid and good born chain deck. Of course, after that, surely Evil Swarm fell off and it wasn't a garbage, and it still isn't a garbage, and it's not gonna be out. Because if back in the day it didn't top a single tournament, it's not gonna do it today, nor tomorrow. It's really sad to say that this deck fell off, but it happens, you know? Not because your amazing raw deck is able to perform really well against the best deck in the world, doesn't make it special. It's not special. It happens to certain decks today. You can see the same against Burn deck, not because the deck is really good against Snake Eyes, it means it's the perfect deck. I mean, for me it is, but you're totally right. Ronic, Necrovalley decks, you know, there's a reason why Snake Eyes doesn't have 100% win rate, because it lost sometimes, and the fact that it does doesn't make the deck as bad, and doesn't make your deck better, because, of course, it's not. Another reason why I think this deck should not exist is the same fact as BenKWTK will only win if you don't know the drill. When you set 5 cards and pass, you think any other troll deck, or perhaps a weird guy playing Eldritch, maybe Labyrinth, but you don't think about Born. So the moment you know that it's chain Born, you win the duel, right? I mean, yeah, if you have read the book of 3 copies like a storm, maybe, but we already know how that's gonna end. Unless we got some way to add more cards to our deck, right? There's something really funny about Master Duel. There is a 1-up format, because if you know about the game, TCG and OCG, you know why Chainburg is a joke. And the reason why it is seen as a joke, besides the ew, you play Burn decks, ew, you are that guy, besides that, is because that actually doesn't work. There's no side deck in Master Duel, and that's the only reason why Chainburg is live. And if for some reason there is side deck in Master Duel, Chainburg will be unplayable. I mean, yeah, you can probably win the first duel, but after that, the guy will side deck in Board Breakers and Red Reboot, and you will be dead. Also, Emily Match exists. That by itself can destroy everything, even meta decks, so the deck is a joke. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but in other formats, it's a joke. There's just no way that you can take seriously this deck outside Master Duel, and it is what it is. It just so happens that in this format it is really good, because we don't have best of 3. Best of 1 is the best deck in the world. You have everything to win. You have meta decks using more than 7 cards per board. The fact that no meta deck actually use a board breaker. And even if you go first or second, it doesn't matter, because again, you have the surprise gig. Of course, that doesn't happen in TCG. Over there and in OCG is another story. And this is why I love Master Duel. Yeah. Meta is really bad, but there's a lot of things you can do in Master Duel, because there's no side decking. You know, that actually kills a bunch of decks on this format. You can play whatever you want and still win. Okay, not whatever you want, but it definitely works. If you wanna play Spirals, Numeron, your funny deck like Dinos, you can definitely go to Masters. You will probably not go to Master once, but you get my point. So yeah, that's the video. Yeah, the deck is useless. I mean, you can probably play on God Foreman or Edison with a good side decking. Maybe. It's not punishing the meta, right? It's not the same, it doesn't count. It appears that this deck that should not exist just works perfectly fine on 3 conditions. On a formats, You don't know what your opponent is playing, and the meta is around spamming a bunch of cards to the field. Which again is not a bad thing, but well, not good either. So that's it. The deck is useless? I mean, that's the point of fucking gimmick decks that only works on certain conditions. And it just so happens that this Chain Burn actually works. Because it does. I already showed you why. Burn Chain can win against any actual meta deck. Better than a card made to punish those decks, and even greater than the other counter decks back in the day, because this one is still alive and it will be forever alive. Not playing this deck is just stupid if you ask me, and please do not be stupid, I'm begging you. Play Chain Burn. You see, I love gimmick decks. I love seeing the funny haha the card losing every time and finally shining after 20 losses, maybe 100 losses. I love playing Aromages. I love seeing how people don't read the description of child's play. So now my 10 LP can just stop forever with Aromage Matter Jump because my monster will be immune to destruction effects and battle. I love to see how my spam level ones will beat the shit out of you. I happily laugh when my time to rotate finally works after 20 turns on Golden Tree. I love that. I love seeing how my big school Servano Grandmagi will punch you to death. It's incredible. I am so happy when a certain spider summons Fabled Unicorn and it locks the opponent of the game forever. I fucking love resolving each effect of Fist to Unravel Tenji. I love it so much, like you have an idea. And Chain Burn is just another gimmick deck that uses a bunch of weird bad traps and cards that somehow works. And that's because every bad card can be used to make a gimmick deck, and how my dad used to say, well, Burn Chain is just a dream for gimmick players. It is. Think about it. It is a dream. Then you will ask me, why is that a dream? And I will tell you, because you're using garbage cards. You're using useless cards that make you lose duels. If you play those cards are useless. They're not supposed to win duels. They are not supposed to be good. They're supposed to be a joke that you can laugh when you watch that guy using, he's gonna prepare Secret Plus, and you laugh because it's true, that card is bad. It should be bad. It should be. And also, they are trapped. Those things that Yu-Gi-Oh players hate because they are so goddamn slow that it's not worth playing. Unless it's a super powerful trap, a negate, or something that will be amazing as essential rollback, or anything else that is attached to a single archetype like Labyrinth. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Oh well, I will say that, but this deck works. Nowadays, it does. You need to wait one turn? Not a problem, you will win anyways. Now, on Master Duel 1 format, your only trash and only champion gimmick is a legend, an agent of justice, a hero that will save the day anytime you hate the fire attribute. Your gimmick deck that everybody looks down and hate now is able to win tournaments and defeat the most silly decks in the world. Because it just works. At this time, on this format, with that ugly meta, it will carry you to the tops of Master Duel today, tomorrow, and forever. Not the best gimmick, but indeed for me, the true chosen one to carry our legacy and represent all of wishes. Burn deck, the perfect gimmick for now, maybe, hopefully, forever. Man, I fucking love Burn Chain. They do make my life meaningful. So yeah, that was a bit then 9 hours. Just me giving the final checks right now. But I just want to say something. And I was gonna do a full segment of how people hate burn decks, because they do hate burn decks for some reason that I don't understand. One of my friends that is literally the most chill person in the world, like he's the most wholesome guy in the world, he will say Burn Chain or something like that, and he will literally die. He will literally explode and become a toxic person. Okay, it's not that bad, but you know, I don't understand why people hate this deck so much. You know, well, not exactly this deck, but they do hate Burn. You know, I don't actually know why. I mean, I can imagine something. It's for the reason to hate Stone, maybe, because they believe that Oh, they don't let me play my game. Oh, you're stone player. You're brain rot. You know, something like that. But it used the community being stupid, and actually, I don't care. One of the reasons why I don't do my segment of people hating on boring chain is because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I can live with this because I live with the hate. I don't care. I know some friends that I cannot, and I know some people that have been harassed by playing this deck on either tournaments, on events, or even just Master. So I just wanna say, if you're here, pretty sure you like the deck, right? Right? And if you don't, well, I don't care neither. I don't particularly care. I don't want to edit this. I just wanna say this out loud, and I want you to hear my voice, and I want you to think about it. And why do you hate this deck? This deck is amazing. It's really nice to use. It's unique, and it has a different mechanic. But if you still hate the deck, you do you, okay? I don't particularly care, and so don't hate this deck, alright? Alright, be good boys. Don't do nothing stupid, alright? Okay? Okay, well. With that being said, frag you, I guess? And if you hate me, well, tell me in the comments. I wanna read how much you hate me. Yes, playing booty chains. Playing booty chain. You will love it. Yes.